What's up, Comic Book Nation? BD here on Flash Day with your top 5 stories from the past 24 hours. Today we are making the rounds on Spider-Man Homecoming, Fear the Walking Dead getting a female villain, and of course we're going to talk a little bit about The Flash. It's Flash Day, the show premieres tonight, and we got big news about it from right here at Comicbook.com. All that and more in Comic Book Now. Spider-Man Homecoming, it's just picking up villains left and right. We are already aware of 2 villains, Vulture and Shocker, who I can tell you for sure are played by Michael Keaton and Logan Marshall Green, respectively, but a 3rd villain has been thrown into the rumor mill, being described as a non-superpowered character who butts heads with Peter Parker in his everyday life. The rumor also claims that he might be someone who gets a little involved with Aunt May, which will get a little bit under Peter Parker's skin, and rightfully so. Hands off Marissa Tomei, dude. Keeping it Marvel, a new teaser for Iron Fist was released, and by teaser, I mean a smoky cloud of release date. Check it out in the best 15 seconds of your day. Yeah, that's it. That's really it. That's the whole thing. March 17th, 2017, the official release date for Iron Fist. Only 164 more days, but who's counting anyway? Another Marvel hero, if you can call him that, from New York is living and breathing in production right now following the wrap of Spider-Man Homecoming. The Punisher has officially begun filming for Netflix. The production is working under the name Crime, but it isn't expected to arrive on the streaming service until 2018. Also in production, though, is The Defenders, which will likely arrive prior to The Punisher, so the city streets will be safe. Changing it up a bit from the Marvel world, finally, yesterday, ComicBook.com learned some big news about the upcoming season of Fear the Walking Dead, Season 3, coming in 2017. But going into Season 3, executive producer Dave Erickson tells us there will be a female villain thrown into the mix. The new season will see a border war between a militia north of the border and what sounds like a yet-to-be-met bunch south of the border, with the South being led by an apparently vicious female leader who will have a major effect on Nick, Luciana, and Strand. Yes, Strand is coming back. Those of us who stuck with the show throughout the 2nd season are hyped because that finale was just fantastic. Can I just say, I hope this is like a female villain who just gets her hands dirty, bashes skulls, and is not just kind of sitting there pulling the strings manipulatively. I want to see her in the trenches whooping ass. And finally, before we get to your questions, our last story of the day is about tonight's episode of The Flash. Executive producer Andrew Kreisberg had this to say about comparing the Flashpoint on TV to the Flashpoint in the comics. He said, "There's a couple of nods to the comics in there. There's actually some dialogue from the comic in the episode. But as always, the movies are the movies and TV is TV, and we're not trying to infringe on their purview. The episode is a much more personal one. The stakes in the comic book and Flashpoint were global, and the stakes in this episode are very much just about Barry, his existence, and the people that he loves." After tonight's episode of The Flash, ComicBook.com will be launching a new series called Flashback, hosted by yours truly, where I'll be joined by Chris Killian and Lucas Siegel for an in-depth look at the episode and an interview with Hunter Zolomon himself, Teddy Sears. Spoilers beware, we are live at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, let's turn it over to a few questions. What are we talking about here? Fear the Walking Dead definitely needs an evil Michonne. BD, have you seen Luke Cage, says Brenda Velez. Have I seen Luke Cage? I've seen the first couple episodes. I'm loving it. I am not deep into it as I want to be. And with New York Comic Con coming up this weekend, it's going to be a little while before I can really dive in. Maybe I'll throw in a couple more episodes tonight. So don't spoil it in the comment section. I shouldn't have said that. Now one of you guys is going to do it on purpose. Will Flashpoint cause crisis on the CW? I don't think Flashpoint is going to be as big as everyone expects it to be. It's not going to have the impact that Flashpoint in the comics had, based on what I know about it. So I think Flashpoint's going to come and go quicker than we want it to. I think it's obviously, like Kreisberg said, not going to have that global. We're not going to see Aquaman versus Wonder Woman. We're not going to see Thomas Wayne. But there will be roles that fill in for Thomas Wayne Batman. I can tell you that. It'll be pretty cool. Pacific Rim 2 news. I wish I had Pacific Rim 2 news. Guillermo del Toro is still on board. John Boyega, the cast is coming together. But that's all we got for now. Hopefully it arrives before Avengers 24. Ghost Rider news. He's still on S.H.I.E.L.D. That's about that. Anything on a Ghost Rider movie? I don't think we should be holding out for a Ghost Rider movie. I think that maybe we can hold out for Ghost Rider appearing in The Defenders or in a future Netflix series, but I don't think we should hold out for a Ghost Rider movie. I think that Robbie Reyes will head to Netflix. I don't think he's going to stay on S.H.I.E.L.D. unless something happens where the ratings just take off and they're like, oh, this is working, let's keep him here. I can't imagine that that character will remain a part of that show without going into the Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, maybe Moon Knight world. What else we got? What are we talking about? Still catching up with season 2. I love Arrow, Flash, and Supergirl coming together. Yeah, that's going to be really exciting. And the whole 4-day crossover thing is going to be sweet with Legends of Tomorrow, too. We got Flash tonight, Arrow tomorrow, and then Supergirl and Legends next week. It's going to be 4 nights of comic book greatness, and I'm excited about Flashback. I hope you all join us there. Let's get just a couple more questions before we wrap it up. What do we got? Any news on Justice League? No, but yesterday we did learn the title of the Batman movie. It's the best I can do for you. It's called The Batman. So Ben Affleck is acting, directing, executive producing, and writing. So it's it should just be called The Ben Affleck, but it's called The Batman. Batman in the CW verse never happened. We won't even probably ever hear the mention of Gotham, but I highly, highly, highly doubt there will ever be a Batman on the CW verse. As cool as it would be to see someone suit up in another Batman costume, be Bruce Wayne, take on the role of Cape Crusader alongside Arrow and the Flash. I mean, the Flash on the CW is fantastic. Grant Gustin is great. So to be able to form a full Justice League as opposed to just the Justice Society that we're getting on Legends, that'd be epic. But it's not going to happen. One last question. Any word on The Punisher? Yeah, we just mentioned today. It just started production under the working title Crime. That's all we got for that, though. It limited John Bernthal's New York Comic Con time. But thank you so much for being a part of the show today and always, Comic Book Nation. I am Brandon Davis. I'll see you tonight on Flashback in an alternate timeline.